It was a crisp autumn evening when I decided to take a walk through Ashton Park. The air was cool, and the golden hues of fallen leaves blanketed the pathways, crunching softly beneath my boots. I had always found solace in the quiet corners of the park, especially at dusk. But that night was different. That night, something was waiting for me. As I walked, the faint creak of a swing reached my ears. It was coming from the old playground tucked away behind a thicket of trees. I remember feeling puzzled. That playground hadn't been used in years. It was almost forgotten, overtaken by nature. Curiosity tugged at me, and I veered off the main path, following the sound. There she was. A little girl, no older than 7 or 8, sat on the swing. Her dark hair hung in limp strands around her face, and she wore a tattered white dress that looked out of place in the chilly weather. She swung back and forth, the chains groaning with each movement. Her face was obscured by shadows, but I could see the faintest hint of a smile on her lips. "Hey there," I called out, my voice breaking the stillness. "What are you doing out here all alone?" She didn't respond. The swing slowed, and she tilted her head slightly, as if listening to something I couldn't hear. A chill ran down my spine, but I told myself she was just a lost child. I stepped closer. The moment I crossed the invisible line separating the playground from the rest of the park, the air seemed to change. It was heavier, colder. The rustle of leaves and distant chirps of crickets fell silent, leaving only the sound of the swing creaking and my own heartbeat pounding in my ears. "Are you okay? Do you need help?" I asked again, my voice faltering. The girl stopped swinging and let her feet drag against the ground. Slowly, too slowly, she turned to face me. Her eyes. I'll never forget those eyes. They were hollow, empty sockets, oozing a dark, tar-like substance. Her mouth stretched unnaturally wide, revealing rows of jagged, yellowed teeth. The skin around her face cracked like old porcelain, and black veins pulsed beneath the surface. She stood, her small frame twisting and contorting as she rose to her feet. I froze, rooted to the spot by a terror I had never known. She opened her mouth, but no sound came out, at least, not at first. Then came the whispers. Dozens, maybe hundreds of voices, all speaking at once. They were in my head, inside me, clawing at my sanity. They spoke of things I can't repeat, things I didn't understand but knew would haunt me forever. I stumbled backward, my foot catching on a root. I fell hard, the breath knocked out of me. When I looked up, she was gone. The swing creaked softly, moving in the breeze that had returned as suddenly as it had disappeared. I scrambled to my feet and ran, the shadows of the park seeming to reach for me as I fled. I don't know what I saw that night. I don't know what she, or it, was. But I can't shake the feeling that it wasn't the first time she had been there, and it won't be the last. I've avoided Ashton Park ever since, but sometimes, late at night, I hear the faint creak of a swing in the distance, carried on the wind, and I know she's still waiting,